Like the only thing I've seen is in like cartoons, and the person's just like going in a tornado. So I'm like, does that really happen in real life? Like, how scary is it to be in a tornado? All that stuff.
Hi, I'm Trisha.
Hi, I'm Angela.
And I'm Nick, and welcome to Earth Listening Off Air.
So today we're going to talk about multiple topics again. We're going to talk about our sleep schedule because quarantine definitely impacted our sleep schedule in one way or the other, whether it improved it or made it worse. Who knows? We'll talk about that. And we're also going to briefly talk about like the climate change that we've been seeing around the world in our area with like the wildfires, high temperature in different areas around the world. Briefly talk about that. So let's get started. Why don't we first talk about our sleep schedule? So let's open it up and let's just describe how is our sleep schedule? Is it like really good? Are we doing not so good? Are we sleeping like 3 hours a day, or what does it look like?
I mean, this summer I've been able to like develop more of a routine than like remote learning last year. Like last year I was like all over the place. Like sometimes I'd be watching TV at 3 and then doing homework at like 10. And I'm just like, what was I doing with my life? I don't know. But this summer I've been able to like focus more on like getting ready for college apps and getting ready for school again, and then going to the gym and things like that. So I've been able to develop more of a sleep schedule, which has been helpful.
Oh wow. Wait, so like are you in your area, is it back open again? Like are you able to go to places like freely and all that?
It's back open, and before it was like if you're vaccinated you don't have to wear a mask, so it was like personal choice. But like now I think some areas are like restricting and businesses and things.
Yeah, same here. I would say for me, my sleep schedule, I think it's still the same as like what it was before quarantine. Like I would usually sleep at like 11:30 and then wake up at like 6:45 for school. But like the only thing that changed was I still sleep like around 11:30, but I wake up at like 7:30 or 8, or sometimes even like 8:30, 9:30, 9 o'clock, not 9:30. So like I'd say overall, generally it's still the same. And I'm like glad I didn't like go into the like sleeping at, I don't know, like 3 a.m. and then waking up really late. Yeah. What about you, Nick?
Unfortunately, I have developed that oversleeping and staying up late. Just recently, I think I stayed up until 4 or 5. I didn't wake up until 10. Yeah, that was a bit awkward for my parents to see me well. I've been working on college apps really late as well, so it's really impacted me greatly. I've been doing my routines very weirdly.
So would you say you sleep like later, much later than you would usually with school?
I guess yes and no, because it is summertime, so I guess my body just says you could sleep late and such. So usually around this time my body starts waking up earlier, I guess, so we'll have to see.
That's good. So like you're saying when school starts, like it's kind of like automatic that you're able to like wake up earlier?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's actually cool though. Like I wish my body could just like kind of be like, okay, school starting, time to wake up earlier. Because I always hate waking up so early. Like during my freshman year, I didn't have first period like the second semester of my school year. So I got to wake up at like 8 and go to school at like 8:30ish. And like on Wednesdays, we started school later. So I would go to school at like 9:20. Like that was so nice. Like I could just kind of sleep in. So that was really nice. But now I still have to wake up like 6:45, go to school at like 7:30, and then school starts at 7:45. For the sleep schedule, do you guys, besides Nick, who just automatically gets it, do you guys like have any other tips or things you guys do to like help you guys wake up early? Or do you guys have just a blaring alarm that just like forces you to wake up?
I mean, naturally I'm an early riser, so it doesn't affect me much, but I know some people, they just set like every 5 minutes there's like a different alarm that goes off and it keeps going off and and like hopefully that helps them wake up. Not always, but I think maybe that's helpful for some.
I would say for me, I'm not a super early riser. I would say like I'm okay with rising, like getting up early, but like if I had to do that by myself, it'll be a little bit harder. For me, on like how I get myself to get up, I actually don't need to set up like so many alarms, like 6:30, 6:35, 6:40, like all that stuff. But I was just saying like, yeah, when I just hear the alarm, I just stop the alarm, and then I would just like count to 10 like while closing my eyes to like kind of warm myself up to get ready. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then count to 10, and then like I open my eyes and like I like close my eyes while I'm like changing to like get some more sleep. Yeah, but hopefully the like change from online school to like in person isn't too bad, and like I'm able to get up easily. But we'll see. Who knows? Okay, I actually have another question. I'm pretty curious. It's not really sleep schedule, but it's more like about going back to school. So Trisha, are you going back to school like in person for your school?
Yeah, actually, just this Wednesday, I think.
Wait, so are you going back to school as in the first day is this Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah, for us, Nick and I go to the same school, so we start on this upcoming Monday, so like a week from now. Yeah. How do you feel? Are you ready to go back to school? Are you excited or are you like scared? Because I know the Delta variant's like becoming more and more like concerned because it's so like contagious.
I mean, I think it's kind of concerning, but hopefully, like, our school now put in a mask guideline. I don't know, a ton of schools out there are doing it. So hopefully that's helpful and maybe like containing the variant, or I'm not entirely sure how the science aspect of it works, but hopefully that helps.
Oh, okay, but anyways, like talking about just like back to school, I feel like for online learning, it was easier to take tests and do all this stuff because we had our notes by our side, and it felt like less nervous, like nerve-wracking, because we're in our room, we're in our comfort zone, and we're ready to take the test, all that stuff. And sometimes we wouldn't really learn things because like we just look at a computer screen and the information just goes in and out later. So how would you guys like, do you guys have any tips, or like what do you guys feel about like going back to school and like having to sit down and actually pay attention, actually learn, and avoid like going on your phone and all that?
For me, it's gonna be probably better because when I was at home, there were so many distractions. I wanted to opt for in person during COVID, but I didn't have my vaccine yet, so I was really scared too. So that was one of the major factors why I feel like going to school is probably better than online.
Personally, I like the online system as like the education aspect of it. Like you could take notes on your own time, and like, you know, like the PowerPoint would still be there like after class. You know, some teachers, it's like a one and done for them and they don't post it anywhere. So that's kind of hurtful in like actual school, like missing the notes and everything. But I think for the social aspect of it, it kind of missed a lot, you know, like even when the national lockdown was there, I didn't go and see friends or anything. So it was kind of like we were just like on a video call, like sometimes, you know, maybe during class, maybe after school or something like that. So that was the portion that I didn't necessarily like.
I would say just like another question is out of curiosity. Do you guys feel like you learned better with an online format with like what Trisha pointed out, you know, presentations at your disposal, you could easily access it because it's already online? Or did you feel like you learned better at school and like there's no distractions? Okay, I'll go first. For me, I would say like honestly, it's not that significant for me. I would say I learned like well both ways, but I do gotta say I would prefer going back to school if it's safe enough, because I feel like especially for AP tests, I got so stressed out like during the few weeks, or yeah, even the few days before the AP test, because I felt like I was left on my own to like know the content, and then I didn't feel that supported from the like school from like teaching me the content. So I was just like cramming everything, and I was like, I feel like it was just all on me to know the content. So I feel like in that aspect, it was a bit hard to like actually learn the stuff, because like what Nick said, like my phone's there and I just scroll and I'm like, oh no, I'm not paying attention to all that stuff. But yeah, so I would say if I had to choose, school would be a little bit better for me.
I do have to side with Angela on this one. I really want to go back to school because there's not that many distractions, as well as I can converse with the teacher if I'm confused straight face to face. I just feel like talking face to face is better for me. I don't know why. It just feels like it's better compared to a screen.
Yeah, I do want to just add on quickly. Like I feel like at home, there's not a sense of like urgency to like know this thing, because you just like, you're at home and you're like, okay, I learned this, and then like kind of relax. Or at least for me, that's what I felt. For the test, it wasn't like, oh, I need to study like real hard, but because like I felt like, oh, I had my notes, you know. It was very like, there was lack of urgency to like really understand the material that was being taught.
I agree with you guys, like especially for like when you need help or anything, it's kind of different like when you're doing it over Zoom or Google Meets or whatever. So like whenever like for AP tests and stuff, I tried asking my teachers for like guidance, you know, like things to study, like important things to look at, like, or just review material in general. But like it didn't really go over well because like one, it seemed like they were busy all the time. Like I don't even know, but that's what it just seemed like. And then the times that we did like meet up, it was kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like nothing was like clicking, like even in my brain, like not, I couldn't like, because I didn't have a connection with them at all. So it was kind of like hard to talk to them. It was just talking to a stranger like in like the end of the year, like preparing for AP tests. So that was kind of off. So I'd say I look forward to going back to school in that aspect.
Okay, then let's move on to climate change. So on the news recently, I think, just yesterday, I saw my dad watching a news video on YouTube saying that like Italy has like large fires that they never had before. Or temperatures of the fire, something like that. Like it reached up to 48.8 degrees Celsius. And it was like a record high. Like it broke the European record for like hottest area or hottest fire. I don't know, but I remember also a firefighter from Italy saying that was the largest fire he's seen after working for the fire department for like 20 to 30 years. It's like, it's very concerning. Like in Canada, there's been like thunderstorms and also very high temperatures. And I know for California, we got our first rain in July since like 19 something, like the late 1900s. So there is a lot of drastic climate change that's going on all around the world. So what do you guys think about it? Did you guys have any experiences personally in the area you live that you noticed was different? Or what do you guys think about this whole global climate crisis, I guess?
Personally, I'd say like in Illinois, there were a lot of like tornadoes and like harsh storms closer to my area, and like that hasn't really happened. Like no one, like at least me, I haven't taken like tornadoes and stuff like to an extent where I would go in my basement and everything, because nothing has been that serious. Like even when there was a tornado warning when I was younger, we would still be playing outside and it wasn't a big deal at the time. But like I feel like that now, like I've seen like in Naperville and stuff, so I'm really close to that area, and so I think that was what like made me click in my brain that it's like really close and I should probably like, when there is a tornado siren, go in the basement and be a normal human being, you know, like do stuff like that and prepare for these things, because it's likely that it could happen. And you know, like if you've seen the trees that are inside buildings and like they're crushing posts and stuff like that, so like it's just important to pay attention to that stuff, which I haven't normally, so I'll be doing that in the future.
I'm actually pretty curious, like what's it like to live in an area like where tornadoes are a thing? Because like when they come, like I don't know, like it's very interesting to me because I've never lived in an area where there's a tornado. So like if in the event there's a tornado that comes like right at your house and you go in your basement, does a tornado blow your house away? But I think that sounds dumb, but like how does it work? Like if it comes to you, what do you do?
Personally, I don't have that much experience, but I know like if there is definitely a tornado, you go in like the bottom of your basement, or you go to the bottom floor of your house, I guess, in a place that has no windows, so like bathrooms, maybe closets could do, I think. And like it's not necessarily like, it's not a big thing, like I'm trying to say it is, but like it's not at the same time, like especially in my area. It's a bigger thing in other areas, but like, you know, some people have like shelters and stuff and they have food down there and everything. And if it does happen, I think your house gets blown away. I don't entirely know, because if you're caught in the eye of it, I think the whole house, it's like a tornado, right? So it's like in a circle, you know? So like if you're caught in the eye of it, yeah, your house will kind of like blow away maybe, or like get caught in it. And I don't know that much about it.
Yeah. I feel like it's really fascinating because like the only thing I've seen is in like cartoons, and the person's just like going in a tornado. So I'm like, does that really happen in real life? Like how scary is it to be in a tornado, you know? Yeah, now that you mentioned about like having tornadoes closer, I do have like family members that live in Illinois as well, and they said like there were tornadoes that are closer to their house too. It's pretty interesting.
I'm thinking of floodings that are happening in Indonesia right now because of many mountain slides and stuff like that. But I'm wondering about tornadoes. If there was a tornado or a hurricane of sorts, would it happen in a desolate area or somewhere flat?
I think tornadoes happen on flat land, but honestly, I don't know. I'm not too informed about this topic. Well, also another interesting point I want to bring up is like I seen a video like months ago that was this guy who was saying like, why is it called climate change? Like climate change sounds so passive, and like it should be called like climate crisis or climate catastrophe, like something that's more like urgent and like dangerous and alarming, you know? Because I feel like in a sense it is true, because I've seen also like another news I heard was like the ocean's gonna rise like faster than scientists predicted by 2050. Yeah, so it's like everything's like accelerating in a more rapid pace. So I feel like it's such a huge issue, because when we're like changing and evolving the environment and the climate, like it's going to have big impacts on everyone's lives. Like this is not just a centered thing, right? So I feel like the name climate change should change. It shouldn't be called climate change. It's like, oh, climate's changing. It should be called climate crisis, climate catastrophe, you know? Because it's a very serious issue that I think a lot of people need to be more aware of. All right, so today we talked about quite a variety of topics, from back to school to our climate crisis. I think from now on we should say climate crisis instead of climate change, because we need more emphasis on this. But it's going to be definitely exciting and different that we're going back to school, because even though we're going back to school, it's going to be different. We're going to have different habits, different ways of going around the school, and like different, you know, little things we need to do, like wear masks, maybe wipe our desk before leaving, and all that stuff. It's going to be interesting. And I hope like there's not that much COVID cases when we go back to school, because you're in a center populated area, everyone's there. So hopefully there's no like Delta cases there, COVID-19 cases. But we also talked about climate change. It's definitely a serious issue. It's real. And I feel like policymakers and government leaders shouldn't argue whether it's real or not, but rather we should argue and debate about how we go about approaching it, because we shouldn't waste time about arguing if it's real or not, or else it's just going to continue and we're not going to do anything about it. But yeah, that's it for our podcast today. Again, please go support our jewelry fundraiser partner with Euphoria Purely. For more information, you can check that out on our Instagram. And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram at EarthListening Official. Check out our website on Instagram located in the link in our bio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at EarthListening Team. Donate to our GoFundMe located in the description box below. This is EarthListening. See you in the next episode.